Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about Pokimane in specific again. There's been a lot of, I guess, debate over the last few days about some stuff that's been going on in the community and everything, and I kind of just want to throw my 2 cents in on this because I really feel like the chance for, arguments that actually make sense to be misinterpreted or completely labeled something they're not is extremely high with this kind of conversation, right? As you guys know, Pokimane was notably banned around the beginning of the year from Twitch because she was streaming copyrighted television shows. I think it was Avatar, the cartoon show, if I'm remembering correctly, and it's kind of led to a big debate around the entire Twitch community about, whether or not it's okay to watch, television shows and movies and these kinds of things on your stream, whether or not the DMCA laws and all these companies that own these media franchises are in the wrong in some way, or whether or not they need to be kind of rewritten and restructured. It's been a huge debate, right? There's been a lot of Twitch people who have been saying that they think what they're doing is okay. They don't really feel any type of way about it. They think they should be allowed to, watch MasterChef and SpongeBob and whatnot on their stream. And a lot of people, primarily, it seems like the audience and YouTubers and people who aren't on Twitch, are primarily kind of the crowd that are saying that this is just the way the internet's been for a while. YouTubers obviously have not been able to get away with these things for, pretty much a decade or more at this point. So a lot of stuff has kind of happened in the time since then, and I kind of wanted to recap it all and make a video talking about it so that, we're all caught up on this conversation. And plus, I really just want to state, I guess, my point of view from this entire thing here, right? So recently, there's been a lot of talk of misogyny, right, against Pokimane. Are the people criticizing her in good faith? Or are the people who are coming after her only doing it because she's a woman and she's a woman dominating in a primarily male-dominated gaming industry? Is she just the target and the victim of harassment that is unnecessary? And I kind of just want to go over everything here. So one of the main catalysts in this entire thing actually comes from a content creator by the name, I believe, of Gideon, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. He recently got a 2-week ban, from my understanding, over on Twitch. This is according to Keemstar here. Got a ban for 2 weeks on Twitch. Initially, it was believed to be due to a clip I'm about to show you where basically he tells Pokimane fans / Pokimane simps that they have no chance of getting in her walls, right? She's got a man, she's got a boyfriend or a romantic interest of some sort. And that basically, they're simping for no reason. They're defending her honor and her legacy so vehemently for absolutely no reason. Obviously, the joke being that people who defend women on the internet like this are often deemed to be doing it simply at the sacrifice of, their own dignity to basically try and get some cheeks. And so, I'm going to show you the clip here, basically, and this is what everyone kind of thought at first was the reason this guy got banned. It turns out there's more context that will be added.
From Pokimane, if you're from Pokimane's chat,
yo,
and you have a penis, I'm gonna tell you this right now. She is not gonna fuck you, bro. I don't care how much you donated. I don't care how many hours you watch her. She is not gonna fuck you, bro. She has a man's. Bro, you probably don't want to hear this. You probably don't want to hear this. But I'm sorry. I'm gonna break the 4th wall. And spoiler alert, she's getting dicked down every night by another nigga.
Alright, so this clip obviously isn't really saying anything, I don't think, that nobody has said before. I think everybody already kind of knows that this is, something that some people have to, answer to, I guess. There are certain Pokimane fans that probably aren't in it for that or whatever, but you gotta admit that there is a certain portion of her fan base that is simply only watching her because they find her attractive and they'll defend her at any means necessary, right? And that's the case with pretty much anyone who's attractive on the internet, right? You're gonna get a certain portion of your audience that, actually thinks that you're hot or whatever, but it turns out that that is not the reason why this guy was banned. So it turns out that Gideon here apparently encouraged his audience to go to Pokimane's stream and basically spam L+ ratio, which I guess is considered a targeted hate raid because obviously they're going there to troll her / fuck with her. They're spamming comments and stuff. Apparently, and I don't know this for sure, I wasn't in the stream or anything, apparently some people in the audience, instead of just, spamming L+ ratio, were legitimately saying some pretty crazy shit to other people in the chat. They were harassing Pokimane viewers or whatnot. And apparently that is the reason why Twitch gave Gideon a 2-week ban. It wasn't for the clip saying basically that, you know, these simps need to let off or whatever. It was just over the fact of the matter that he encouraged his audience to go to her stream and spam comments and shit, which is, I guess, a no-no on Twitch. I didn't know that. I'm not on Twitch often enough to really know the rules all the way through like that, but this is one of the main catalysts in the main discussion, right? Because eventually people started speaking out about it, including Pokimane herself. She like privated her Twitter account or protected it or whatever and started tweeting from behind that. So apparently, you know, people spamming her comments and whatnot got to her so bad that she had to end her stream early and she turned her account onto protected mode or whatever. And it led to people putting out tweets like the one we're about to take a look at here. Sad how Pokimane still has to deal with misogyny and harassment in 2022. And it's even more sad how I have to say this publicly because people are afraid to stand up and say that she's being treated poorly because they'll be called a simp. Alright, so this is my take on it. This may be controversial, you know, this is probably going to upset some people because people look at me as like an anti-Pokimane person because of like the commentary crusade and whatnot, but that really isn't the case, right? Like, I'm honestly not some big fucking Pokimane hater. I don't hope her career burns and crashes and fucking fails or anything like that, but a lot of the time, at least from my personal perspective here, the criticism that I've seen put against Pokimane really has nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman per se, but more or less due to the shit that she's said and done, right? So I've done a whole hour-long plus video with multiple other commentary creators where we went into depth about the things that Pokimane gets criticized for, what is, you know, pretty much, I guess, the opinion that a lot of people have, right? It's a very popular video. It has millions of views and everything, and the video was very well received. So now obviously there's a complete difference between criticizing somebody for something legitimate and actually going out of your way to be a fucking asshole. And no doubt that just like pretty much everyone else on the internet, there are a portion of people who are just simply being an asshole to her. But what really kind of worries me about this kind of statement from Ms. Kiff here is it can easily be misconstrued into basically saying anyone talking bad about Pokimane at all is basically just a fucking misogynist who's harassing her and her audience. When in reality, right, like a lot of us, more or less, the reason that we criticize Pokimane are for very legitimate issues, and whether or not they've been years in the past or whatever, there's enough of a history with Pokimane to criticize her for, right? And it's not like she's the only person on the internet who faces this. I mean, even like in my situation with the Twitch drama, I criticized Disguised Toast for getting banned too. I actually criticized Hassan Abi for his take on the whole thing. I also criticized XQC, right? Like, it doesn't really have anything to do about, you know, whether or not you have a dick in between your legs. It's more or less about just like what you have to say and what you do, right? I know that people constantly have this thought that like everyone hates Pokimane because she's a woman, and I really don't think that that could be further from the truth. And to be honest with you, like as someone who's remembered Pokimane's career for years at this point, I can pretty much remember like before she did a lot of the things that got her criticized, people had a much more favorable view of her, right? It wasn't really until she started doing and saying stupid shit every once in a while before people started, you know, shifting a little bit and actually criticizing her more. I don't doubt that there are people out there who shit on her or hate on her simply because she's a woman, but I don't want that, you know, silent minority, I guess, of the community to overtalk, I guess, or speak over the people who are giving legitimate criticism and bringing up actual points. Because that's pretty much what happens in these kinds of situations, right? Like, I remember, and this wasn't the main argument, but like when people were criticizing Suzy Liu because she was watching copyrighted Naruto streams and shit on YouTube, when people were criticizing her, some of her defenders would come out and say shit like, oh, you know, people are only saying anything because she's a woman, right? Like, women can't do anything without getting shit on. It's both actually true that at the same time people do criticize her simply for being a woman, but it's also true at the same time that it's also used as a cop-out excuse to basically deter any sort of criticism. And I'm gonna be honest, man, like that just won't work, right? Like if this is the take that people are gonna have and they're gonna lump the people actually bringing up good points in with the people doing just simple trolling on the internet or whatever, being assholes and whatnot, actually trying to fuck with her because she's a woman, all that's gonna do is make people not like her more, okay? okay? And realistically, this goes for anybody. Like, if your first response to actual criticism is to say, oh, they're only doing this because I'm a woman, or because, you know, something, right? That just makes people think that you're fucking copping out, that you don't really have a defense for anything, and that you're just kind of hiding behind that fact simply so that you can fucking look better or whatnot, or look like you're morally justified in the argument. And at the end of the day, man, Pokimane was in the wrong about that, right? Like, you can't go on your fucking stream and just watch a TV show, right? You can if you pick the actual approved, licensed content that Twitch allows you to stream on their platform, that they've worked out deals with the creators of so that you can actually stream it. But at this rate, man, it's gotten to a point where streamers are completely ignoring that, right? Like, that doesn't fucking matter because, I don't know, the shows aren't good enough. They don't like the fucking TV show that comes up or whatever, but at the same time, you can't be surprised, I guess, that when you watch Avatar: The Last Airbender for 4 hours on stream, that Viacom and Nickelodeon are gonna come fucking, you know, doing something about that. And it doesn't make you sexist for saying that Pokimane was in the wrong. It doesn't make you sexist for saying that Pokimane has a history of doing dumb and saying dumb shit. And I don't want it to get to this point, right, where, like, any time, I guess, that someone talks about Pokimane, this is the automatic fucking argument at hand. Like, realistically, it's not even just Pokimane that this applies to. This applies to pretty much everybody in the community. I mean, any woman can really hide behind the defense of, oh, you're being misogynistic if you're criticizing me, but a lot of them choose not to because it's fucking stupid. And this is my personal take on the whole, I guess, spamming L plus ratio thing. I mean, if you've been on Twitter for more than like 4 months, bro, you've already had young boy stands and fucking sports accounts doing this. It's just shit that people do online now, right? Like, it's the 15-minute meme of the day, right? Here, for the last 8 or 9 months, you know, people have always been spamming L ratio, fucking ratio bozo, stuff like that, right? That's been happening for a minute. It's not like this is, you know, the only person that it's happening to. I mean, if you go on pretty much anyone who has more than like 500 followers on Twitter and you go to a tweet with any interaction, there's like a 40% chance it's someone saying ratio, right? Like, that's just how it is. It doesn't really bother me. I mean, it's fucking stupid, and it's not really something to interact with most of the time because it's people clearly looking for attention, but this is something that has been going on for the, I guess, better part of at least a year now online. So I don't know if it would be enough for me personally, at least, to make me want to shut my stream off and like private my account for a little bit and whatnot, but I'm trying to clarify this point, man, because I just don't want to see it go down this route. So with that being said, though, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, I guess misogynistic for criticizing Pokimane, and signing out.